Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Deus Ex. I'm Colonel RPG, as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today here in my office. It's not a very well lit office, and I think I did a very good thing in bringing the brightness up a little bit in the video, because everything is so dark. I think it's because of the GMDX mod. People tell me that apparently they changed it, but there's no light button over here. Where's my light button? No light button. But lights are on. Yeah, it's fine. Let's look around the UNESCO headquarters, and we need to go to our boss. We also need to heal, and all in due time.
Your partner for the next assignment, Anna Navarra, is in the adjoining break room to the east. Maybe you should introduce yourself.
This is to the north. So the break room to the east is probably this one. Anna? Excuse me. Oh, that's Gunther and Anna. We have vases. We have a pinball machine. I can play pinball? What kind of game is this? I can flush a toilet and open a faucet and I can play pinball? The humanity. Can't really hear that. Hey guys.
Are you sure you pressed the right button?
I do not make mistakes of that kind.
Your hand might have slipped.
No, I wanted orange. It gave me lemon lime.
Oh, come on.
The machine would not make a mistake.
It's the maintenance man. He knows I like orange.
So you think the staff has some kind of plot?
Yes, they do that on purpose.
Oh, the game is already throwing me. Yeah, it's very much focused on that, isn't it? Let's read the newspaper over here. Mead from Mars. Cape Canaveral, NASA scientists confirmed that the eroded remains of the Alba Patera crater on Mars precisely match the face of President Mead. It's him, declared senior planetary scientist Kevlar Umla. There's his nose, that ridge, see the crater rim making his hairline, the way that he combs his hair appearing in the region of parallel valleys. The White House has no comment. Well, nobody has really. However, Martin Wisdom, president of the EA, Enemies of Aliens, apparently that's a thing, told Midnight Sun, which is this newspaper, this is the evidence we have been looking for, a warning that Mr. Mead is not human. He is precisely a Martian general, a war hero, come here to conquer the Earth with the assistance of the United Nations. Ryan Allen, staff writer. Well, this is a different newspaper. I can read it from the other side. I kind of don't want to trigger any...
My new partner, J.C. Denton. Don't tell me you're going to wear those sunglasses during a night operation.
My vision is augmented.
Better to look good than to have the distractions of another agent who needs backup.
Forgive my interruption. I just wanted to say that I look forward to working with you, Agent Navarra. Also, excuse me, I've got to be briefed by Mr. Manderley.
I do not expect you to perform as well as Agent Herman, but the mission will require us to do more than frighten the NSF with our baggy coats that make us look bigger than we really are.
I am prepared to perform my duties.
For instance, not to be a man running into enemy lines without coordinated military assault.
No problem.
I think she's taller than JC is. Hi, Gunther.
You will be working with Anna Navarra.
We're going to see a lot of fighting. See Sam Carter on level 3 for your stealth pistol.
My stealth pistol. I don't do that sort of stuff. Let's see what we have over here. Unauthorized access will be met with excessive... Yeah, but I don't know...
We're going to see a lot of fighting. See Sam Carter on level 3 for your stealth pistol.
So we got bulletins in here. Let me lower this volume here so I can focus on this, because she's gonna keep saying that. Terrorism, crime, or coincidence? The question must be asked, is the global rise of terrorism a haphazard response to a decimated economy, or is there a pattern? Does UNESCO face coordinated ideological opposition? Some groups, Silhouette in France for instance, have declared a meme war. Or a war of meanings in their terminology. They spread email and pamphlets that lampoon the UN's proposal for a one-world democracy. A tedious exercise... Really? A tedious exercise in rudimentary propaganda. With sophistry... Wait a minute. Wait. They spread emails and pamphlets that lampoon the UN's proposal for a one-world democracy. They are not actually proposing for a one-world democracy. They don't want the UN's proposal. Let's see. With sophistries and doublespeak, they portray freedom as obedience, democracy as tyranny, and UNESCO as the perpetrator of terrorism, an idea as shocking as it is reprehensible. Now, that is sophistry right there, but whatever. Other organizations, such as the self-proclaimed Revolutionary National Secessionist Forces, that's the NSF, and that's what it stands for, is the, in the US, claim allegiance to the meme war, but are in fact no better than common criminals. They desire territory and wealth at the expense of society at large. Their civil war is merely a smokescreen, excuse the hiccup, for criminal activity. Any population can be quickly turned against such revolutionaries simply by educating them about the UN's policies and goals. By Joseph Manderley, director... Oh yeah, that's our boss right there. Okay, the symbolic attacks, the Statue of Liberty bombing, the desecration of the Soviet War Memorial in Berlin, the department store shooting sprees on Orchard Road in Singapore are the recourse of the weak. They serve only to call attention to a group or cause that is of no more than marginal interest to the public. But what distinguishes true terrorist activity is its gradual escalation towards genuine acts of war. Fringe groups now have access to technology that allows direct assaults on governments, including the classic trio of nuclear, biological, or chemical weaponry, NBC, apparently. But aside from direct assaults on a nation and its people, indirect assaults can cause considerable collateral damage. Rogue software can disrupt financial markets, communications, and military operations, while encryption programs allow terrorists to coordinate smuggling operations in secret right over the net. Drugs, guns, illegal immigrants, and even heavy equipment such as armored vehicles and cruise missiles are routinely traded across borders, aided and abetted by such software. The naive times, I guess, when people didn't think that companies had backdoors and access to a lot of this stuff. But of course, you know, the mechanisms of activating those backdoors are still were a concern back in the 90s, well, I guess the early 2000s, when this was written. I guess late 90s, yeah. But still, this wouldn't happen. I think in a fiction, if Deus Ex was written today, this stuff over here, specifically software or hacking, I guess, would be considered together with not this over here, but it wouldn't be considered an indirect attack. It definitely would be very much a direct attack, and of course the cyber war would be center point. I wonder how Deus Ex, the newest game anyway, takes that. I know the Human Revolution doesn't actually take too much into account any of this stuff. UNESCO, the first organization with the technology, manpower, and authority to cope with such threats is an idea that is long overdue. Again, by Joseph Manderley. Know your enemy. The national secessionist forces remain a very real and increasingly widespread terrorist threat. 10 years ago, in response to the Sporting Weapons Act of 2042, so that's 10 years ago, that dates us right now. I think we knew that, but whatever. Splinter groups from nearly every state militia refused to surrender their rifles, grenades, landmines, and other collectible prohibited by the Act. So I suppose this would be in the US? Sporting Weapons Act. Interesting. And other collectibles, because... because, yeah, there's a lot of old school technology here for sure. United under the charismatic leader of Leon Woods, these isolated fanatics... talk about propaganda, eventually formed... I mean, I'm not trying to cast my own political stance on any of this issue, but that is effectively propaganda. Eventually formed the NSF, with Woods assuming the rank of general. Their intended goal, the liberation of Washington, Montana, Oregon, and Northern California. So that would be the Washington state. Montana to the east of that, Oregon to the south, and Northern California again to the south, unless I'm mistaken about where Montana is, because I sometimes confuse the placement with Nebraska. No, Nevada? I don't know US states very well. While Woods died during his infamous last stand in 2045, his war machine continues what can only be termed an occupation of the United States, aided by, well, there's assassinists, so definitely is. aided by an encrypted network designed by dissident computer scientists from San Francisco and Seattle. Currently, that's the worst kind of computer scientists. Currently, the UNATCO's cryptography division has had minimal success in cracking their communications, requiring more direct intelligence gathering techniques to be utilized. Well, that's usually how it goes. The UN has declared war on the NSF. Oh, really? Huh. So for those of you who don't know, the UN is often misused in fiction, basically as either a boogeyman or sort of a world government. There's a lot of myths and actual truths that people know and don't know, it just in the current world and in the modern world. But the UN, for those of you who don't know, as I was going to say, the UN actually, well, for one, they don't declare war. They're not like the NATO or anything like that. But more importantly, they do recognize secessionist forces as their own, not as their own country, but you will see throughout history and in the current day that they recognize and have a seat. There's secessionist forces throughout the world in their respective countries that have a seat at the UN, and they have a specific name for them. They're like people who listen, but they don't have a word, or they don't have a say. But I would need to look into that a little bit more. I do know that they really don't take a stance on wars like this. They are actually they go out of their way to be as unbiased as possible. And if there is a secessionist force that wants to that declares war and that declares themselves as a country, they tend to go out of their way to at least give them a seat for discussions, because that's what the UN is. It's a place or an organization that allows for people to discuss and nations to discuss and have a chat. And of course, if you're at war, just declaring outright war on the NSF is it's wrong. But now that I am talking, this must mean that the UN is basically under the control of somebody else. That, of course, maybe the UNATCO here or something like that, because this is a very different stance that the UN is having. So it wouldn't surprise me that the UN is basically a puppet, but it's still, the mechanisms wouldn't be in place unless they made some law changes, because the mechanisms wouldn't be in place for the UN to declare war on anybody, because that's not how it goes. Know your enemy for Silhouette, famous for inserting 20th century style commercials into the net broadcast of the World Cup in 2050. No, the criminals. Silhouette favors feats of spectacle over violence. Printed circuits, part of this nutritious breakfast, the announcer told children in one of the World Cup commercials. You ain't Mac till you eat Mac. A Mac boy choose a memory chip. Boys who eat organics get stomped by their post-human classmates. Mac boys in UNATCO helmets and metal boots take turns kicking another boy. Well, important point about the metal boots then. Despite their numerous pranks, these artists and labor organizers pose a serious threat. They are well armed and have been linked to the murders of numerous European politicians and journalists that will not hesitate to use lethal force. And the beauty of this writing here is that with 18 years on top of this game's release, we have things like the Anonymous, for example, which kind of seems like this kind of reminds me of, but I think some of these, specifically the Silhouette, is probably a reference to Ghost in the Shell. I remember there was an organization in Ghost in the Shell that kind of reminds me of this, and specifically the meme war as well. It's been a while since I saw the series, but of course the manga was predated this game by almost 10 years, so... Anyway, and it was the sort of same style of fiction, so it makes sense that they would quote that, or I guess reference that. UNATCO, this is about the Triads. Oh, we're gonna meet them. Oh yeah. The UNATCO surveillance of Hong Kong is currently a high priority given the renewed threat of Chinese organized crime in the form of the Triads. Despite being a model of prosperity and technological leadership for decades, Hong Kong persists as a haven for organized crime. The Triads, namely the Luminous Path and Red Arrow, vie for control of the 10 trillion credit shipping business, much of which supplies Greater Asia with pirated technology, illegal drugs, and weapons. Pirated technology. You mean pirated in traditional sense, I would think. Most disturbing of all, because, pirated information is what you pirate in the sort of cyber sense. Anyway, most disturbing of all, the Triads preach an ethic of techno-piracy that has found enthusiastic support among small shopkeepers and businessmen who often aid the gangsters and buy their bootlegged software. So it isn't technology, it's software. Gullible and greedy, this army of middlemen remain insensitive to how their violations of intellectual property and copyright laws damage the global information economy. Oh, you guys haven't dealt with that yet? My god, you are useless. Other threats, UNATCO operatives have identified over 1,250 terrorist organizations active in the world today, some too small to currently present a serious threat, but all eager to see one or more governments topple. Yeah, such groups such as the Templars in Europe, the X-51, Western US, will be dealt with in subsequent volumes of Know Your Enemy. So dealt with here is very much about, you know, us knowing who they are. These machines make a bunch of noise. Can you please not? I don't want none of that orange. We got a pot. Okay, Gunther, I'll see you later. I'll also take the opportunity to drink a little bit more. So we're good there in that regard. And let's see where we're going. Didn't talk to you, sir.
Hell of a first day.
Well, yeah. Far too long, terrorists have exploited international tensions and regional legislative variations to elude authorities. A significant step was made towards...
Didn't know the NSF had so many people in New York.
I'm gonna shut you up. A significant step was made towards eliminating these legal loopholes when U.S. President Philip Riley Meade lobbied the Congress to make the U.S. a UNATCO member nation. Enough is enough, he declared in his landmark State of the Union address. Oh, that's a real thing. I didn't know that until recently. And the citizens of the United States responded with enthusiastic endorsement of his position. Not only did the United States become a charter member of the UNATCO, but UNATCO headquarters are now located on Liberty Island in the shadow of that shattered monument for freedom. Or F-R-E-E-D-O-M, because something. UNATCO deals not only with terrorist threats, but also any transgressions of the international legal code, including drug trafficking, software piracy, and money laundering, with the full support of the United States. UNATCO was for the first time able to truly declare itself the world's policeman, or WORLDS, and all that other stuff. Wait a minute, you weren't that before? I confuse. What do we have over here? Some ammo. Infinite durability, though, so I'm not going to really mess too much with that.
Hell of a first day.
Indeed. What is this? Oh, this is, this wasn't in the first game, I guess. It's actually a briefing. Who is JoJo's boss? Yeah, a briefing of the mission. Okay. UNATCO Trainee Crew, 2051. I wonder if that's an actual Iron Storm picture. Okay, let's open this door because I want all the doors open. That's locked. That's unlocked. Excuse me. Hi.
Good work out there, Mr. Denton. Mr. Manderley said you handled yourself nicely. Welcome to UNATCO HQ. Our little family keeps getting bigger.
Is Mr. Manderley available?
Yes, go right in. By the way, your computer account is ready. Log in JCD, password Bionic Man.
Alex already told me. Thanks.
That's not very good safety. That is not very good safety. We have a ruler in here. I don't need no ruler.
What's the idea, JC?
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Stupid ruler. Sorry.
He's waiting, JC.
I know, Janice. Thank you. Recently released evidence from last year's bombing of the Statue of Liberty supports growing rumors that link the incident with the French terrorist group Silhouette. Already members of the Congress are calling for immediate cessation of diplomatic relations between the United States and France, unless the responsible parties are... I'm actually pressing the wrong key here to shut her up. Parties are brought to justice. Rash accusations will not serve to damage... that will not reverse the damage that has already been done. The UNATCO director Joseph Manderley, both France and the U.S. subscribe to the UNATCO Charter, and we are committed to the full and ongoing investigation of this horrible crime. An anonymous email received from an individual purporting to be the Silhouette Minister of True Lies denies all responsibility. For that, he says, I suppose, it must go to the center of the maze, the email said, in part. I think we read that before, so I failed to understand that until the very, very last moment when it said the Ministry of Lies and all that sort of stuff. So let's go have a chat with Joseph Manderley. Okay. I'm gonna save the game. No, not that. How do you save the game? Oh, plus key. So how I have it configured. Hi. We have a book over here. In carrying out their duties, UNATCO agents that often work at law enforcement agencies. I think I think I read that already. And we have another book over here.
Grow up, JC.
What?
You'll behave like a professional. That's an order.
I'm sorry. Noted failure of previous attempts to create a low-profile rotary aircraft involved the acquisition and retrofitting of available military hardware that had neither the range ceiling nor electromagnetic transparency to avoid numerous eyewitness accounts or unauthorized military interactions, in addition, which means people seeing them and people shooting at it. In addition to exacerbating the public misconceptions about government operations, such encounters are also jeopardize several key missions. Project D-Book was initiated to address this issue through the creation of a stealth aircraft that could be used as a platform for a number of mission objectives. I wonder why they made it in quotations, the stealth aircraft. And also why can't I read things? I'm grown up.
Reporting for duty, sir.
The man himself. Splendid. Do accept my apologies about the situation topside?
A refreshing change from the academy, sir.
Don't despise training, my boy. Even you would be worthless without the shaping touch of drills and studies.
So the NSF took a shipment of the ambrosia vaccine? Give me a chopper and a pilot and I'll handle it.
I'm sure you could. Yes, indeed. But we're having your brother head up the recovery team. You'll work with Agent Anna Navarra. Why don't we meet when you've seen Jaime for a medical checkup and received your equipment from Sam Carter?
Good idea.
You'll be briefed at that time.
Yes, sir.
Oh, so I had to come over here for nothing. Really?
The Med Center and Armory are on level 3.
But there's books in here. As science progresses at an even increasing rate, more and more advanced technology is finding its way into the hands of common criminal, resulting in a deadly threat to the life and property throughout the world. While it is impractical to restrict the free flow of information already present in the public sector, UNESCO is committed, also because that would be censorship, UNESCO is committed to ensuring that this threat does not go unaddressed. Even now, UNESCO Research and Development employs some of the most talented scientific minds in the world to develop proprietary technologies in absolute security for field use by our agents, including such innovations as the redacted and redacted or the life-saving redacted. Under no circumstances should agents discuss any piece of equipment or technique currently employed by UNESCO. Agents operating contrary to this directive will face immediate disciplinary action. Within our laboratories lies not just the future of law enforcement, but a safe, secure future for all mankind. This document was filtered by UNESCO Terror Monitoring Act 919//05, Sector 4. So, the censorship that I was talking about, although that's just the redacting of secret documents is a thing. Although this is an UNESCO handbook, which is interesting. Anyway, bootcamp for Betty, APR Portland, Madison High School junior Betty Souza will spend the semester at the Canyon City bootcamp, say school officials. The crime? I didn't know what a bootcamp was apparently. We have verified that she told another student that she knows how to make a bomb, said Principal Martin Gordley. Well, don't you? Everybody knows how to make a bomb. Like, what kind of movies do you have? The problem is actually being able to make a bomb. Because, we just have a bunch of gunpowder. That's just that. Really? Anyway, how do you get your hands on gunpowder? Well, that's a different thing. Go to Wikipedia. What makes this case notable is that the parents have filed a lawsuit against the school district. Our daughter wears black, said Father Brandon Souza in a prepared statement. She has an occupational jack and we let her use it to play games. We allowed her to get a tattoo when she turned 16, but none of these makes her a criminal. The parents claim that Betty was discussing a novel by Tom Robbins taught at Madison High when the mention of explosives occurred. Betty Souza will not be alone in Canyon City. Last year, 15,000 young people served sentences in the state's FBI-run good behavior camps, a legacy of the Northwest War. Lovely. Lovely.
I've got work to do.
I need to go to your bathroom. There's a candy bar in here. I'll get your bathroom. Oh, bathroom candy bar. All of the toilets. All of the toilets. Okay, I'll be out.
Come back when you've seen Carter and Reyes.
I know. Can I take this? I can.
That's enough, Agent.
Sorry. Okay, I'll see you later, sir. And you too, Janice. Have a good day. Wait a minute. Did I not?
You've got to see Carter and Reyes before Manderley can brief you.
I don't think she minds if I do this. Paper clips. Why can't I take those? Huh.
I guess the nano-augmentation program is really about to take off.
It is. Just FYI, your new password is... Oh, this is important. I'm going to write it down. I have my notebook in here. Oh, I don't have it quite ready, but it's fine. New password is a night
Welcome
killer.
to the family.
Thank you very much, Janice. I know you led that mission in Paris against that old terrorist organization or whatever it was. Your login is still J. Manderley. Oh. That's...
Most of the staff is on level 3.
Thank you. That's terrible. Mr. Manderley. You guys have terrible security, you know that? For an information company, you really shouldn't do what you do. We got a couple of locked things over here. That's level 2 down that way. What? Oh, I took the paper clips. My bad. I apologize. What is going on? Okay, he's good. This is the way down. We'll look into that in a little bit. Oh, that's locked. This is the way back up. Hi.
We finally got to cap some rebels, eh, Denton?
Yay! We did. And this is locked as well. Yeah, okay. So, level 2 it is. I can't access Manderley's computer, but having that information is going to be important later on. We're so fast. Being stealth is so nice. So I'm mostly sprinting a lot of the time. Level 3, here we are. We have Oh, excuse me. Don't go away. Hi.
That was a close one up there.
Well, yeah, sort of. Good stuff. Oh yeah, the most important thing in this game. Going into the bathroom. Oh, and getting this stuff. And then you go into, you know, men's bathroom. Because JC Denton is that's where you would go, right? And then you're like, I have money
I don't
there.
like getting shot at. Not one bit.
No. And he's like, what if there is things in here? Excuse me. Remember her. Remember her. That's all I'm gonna say. This is Alex Jacobson, UNESCO. Oh, there's no dot at the end. The humanity.
JC. Mind if I call you JC?
Sure. Just make sure there's 2 dots there because that's how that's abbreviated. Or maybe it's not because I Jonathan C, so I don't know. But anyway, that's going to be that for this episode. I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Deus Ex. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.